Hello everyone, welcome back to another Wizard 101 video, and today I'm doing the video that no one in the world asked for, but I really want to do it because it's funny. And shout out to Wet Chicken Strips. This is going to be day 2 that no one mentioned Ship of Fools, because today I'm going to be explaining why Ship of Fools has dramatically just changed everything, and it's one of the best spells in this entire game. And yeah, I'm putting to rest the people who are like, but Ship of Fools isn't even that good. It is that good. You just haven't been enlightened yet, alright? So, what is Ship of Fools if you don't know? Ship of Fools is a tier 4 hit-all spell of death that as of right now you can only get from the Celestial Spell Elemental pack, but likely the spring update will be able to be farmed. Spellings will be able to be farmed for all players. This is really significant because Ship of Fools is one of the best hit-all spells that Death has, or it's the best hit-all spell that Death has, and it suddenly rockets them up way higher, because the main issue that most people have is that Death and Life don't have tier 4 spells, so you need the pets, which is why people are like, oh, but they kind of are, nah. This spell changes everything. So as you can see, it is a hit-all spell, right, that heals 50% back. There's 2 tiers, which obviously no one's really upgraded the tiers yet. I don't imagine a lot to have anyway, because it's kind of crazy too, because it costs so much money. But you can see you can either go top path, which gets it up to 330 damage and plus 50% health, or bottom path, which makes it 355 and 395. So let's start with the very basics. Why is Ship of Fools just disgustingly amazing? Well, if you don't know, 275 damage is how much Blizzard does, right? Plus the fact it has a plus 50% heal back. My death with 107 damage, which, by the way, max deaths can get up to like 150 or higher damage, can first round crit and do 2.3k around with this. Now, what's important to note is that 2.3k, to say if it's a street battle with just 2 enemies, that's 2k health. All of a sudden you're healing back like over a quarter of your health plus first round, and every round you're in the battle, you theoretically with this spell you almost never take damage, right? Because all the damage the enemy does to you, you just heal back, and it's that easy, right? On top of that, if there's 4 enemies, that's 4,000 health. So basically you can get over half health first round if you want to, right? Which is just insane. But this isn't counting the fact that with 150% damage, you're probably going to be doing about 3k rather than 2k. So you're going to be healing back like 6k health first round at max level with this, which is insane. Now, for PvP, is it as good? Not really, in my opinion. But it is a decent hit, let me tell you, right? Which is important to note. So that's why at base, it's already a crazy spell, right? That's first. Now I'm going to go over why the tiers make it insane. And once it's able to be farmed, this is going to be a disgustingly broken spell. So if you look at the spell tiers here, right? There's 2 paths you can go. Top path, which will upgrade it to 330 damage, which if you don't know is how much Meteor Strike does, which is already, it's the highest hitting 4 pip spell in the game, hit all. And if you think about it, it's, so say you're doing Tempest, you're gonna get 4 times 80, which is 320. So it does more than a 4 pip Tempest as well. So there's that. But if you decided I don't want the heal back, which by the way, you should always go the heal back path, but if you don't want the heal back and you decide to go to the bottom path, if you look at the damage, 355 to 395, that is significantly more than any other 4 pip spell in this entire game, which makes this crazy. Because that means Ship of Fools is the best 4 pip spell in the game, without a doubt. You can't even say otherwise, because it literally has the most damage, right? There's no other spell that has comparable damage to this right here, this max tier bottom path. Now, I would, again, recommend going the top path, but the bottom path in of itself is crazy, right? So there's that. That's why Ship of Fools is just amazing. But the arguments I see a lot are, but Deer Knight, Deer Knight, Deer Knight. Why not Deer Knight? Okay, let's come look at Deer Knight right here, right? Deer Knight. 300 damage plus 270 over 3 rounds to all enemies for 5 pips. I don't know about you. I'm not going in the Taylor Swift song, but 300 damage compared to 275 is rather close. And when you're using a hit all spell, do you know what you're attempting to do? A hit all spell like this, 4 pips. This is a mob killing spell. This is a mob enemy killing spell. And Deer Knight, not only is the spell animation long, but that overtime doesn't mean anything, because realistically you want to kill first round. 275 versus 300, almost equivalent, but this is 4 pips, this is 5 pips. That is a significance, right? Because that means you can use this, say, if you have an extra pip deck, you can use this first round, then you need to wait 3 rounds to use it. This you could use first round and then again 2 rounds later. So it's 4 rounds versus 5 rounds, if that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is that you can use this much more efficiently than this, right? Because it takes, say, 2 rounds to get one of these, 3 rounds to get one of these. If you think about that logically, that means that you're getting more of these for every one of these, which is just better, right? There's that. But if you manage to get your hands on the upgraded version, you're doing more damage plus heal back, which is crazy, right? If you go the bottom path, there's literally no reason to ever use Deer Knight again. And at this point, I've already found that there's no reason to use Deer Knight again, because this is just so much better naturally. Like, sure, it doesn't do as much damage, but really the damage is so minuscule, the difference, the 25 difference, that you're never going to want to use Deer Knight over it. At least that's from my experience. But that's why, to me, Deer Knight is the best death spell, right? But I haven't gone over the implications that it has on the game, because it significantly shifts things around. The reason why death in the past has been not seen as the best school overall for a long time was for 2 reasons. The first reason is that enchants didn't do full enchant on healback spells. So for example, if I had a 275 enchant and I enchanted Scarecrow, it would only enchant about 143, right? That was changed a few updates ago, which is a significant change. So there's that. The second thing is that for a hit all spell, they didn't have a 4 pip one. Their closest one you could get was Scarecrow, which back in the day did not do a lot of damage. It did 400 damage to each enemy, which, if you can see, is comparable to Ship of Fools for double the pips. Did 400 damage to each, and even with an enchant, that, as I said, it would be half, so it would do about 540 or so. 543, I think, used to be the number. You can see now at base, it does 590. Which means with full enchant 275, that is doing 800 damage, which is solid. That's Stormlord level damage, Orthrus level damage, Fire Dragon level damage. So, Death, whose main drawback has always been their hit all, you could get Deer Knight, but even then, Deer Knight still costed 5 pips, which means it wasn't even really efficient to use it until your pips gave an extra deck. Now there's Ship of Fools. This changes everything. If you don't see why this changes everything, you're not with me, all right? You're not on the same wavelength as me, And I think you're missing something significant. Even in PvP, I imagine this does change a lot, because suddenly death can heal for a minuscule amount of pips. And it can heal a decent amount. So that's really all I wanted to go over in this video. Is how Ship of Fools has really just changed everything, at least for death. Suddenly death is the best school in my opinion, hands down. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you disagree with me, let me know. I will fight you in the comments. Like, I will literally roast you and destroy you. If you agree with me, you know, I'll be like, thank you, friend. You're a good person. So that's it. Let me know if you want to see anything. Let me know if you hated me fanboying over Ship of Fools. I don't really care if you hated it. I'm still gonna do it until the end of time. So that's it. This was for you, Wet Chicken Strips. I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.